Hello, friend. Welcome to Science for Sleep. Tonight, we're exploring something deeply familiar. You may have heard people describe themselves as a cat person or a dog person. These phrases show up casually in conversation, often spoken as if they describe personality, preference, or even identity. But when you listen closely, those labels tend to point towards something more subtle. They describe how different people feel living alongside different animals. This video isn't about preference, debate, or opinion. Instead, we'll be exploring the quiet science of compatibility, how cats and dogs interact with adult humans in distinct ways, and how those interactions shape daily life, internal state, and long-term well-being. Over the next 2 hours, we'll gently examine how each animal creates a different kind of environment around the people they live with, how their presence influences attention, energy, routine, and rest, and how those differences translate into benefits that feel more natural for certain nervous systems and certain ways of moving through the world. Humans have shared space with animals for thousands of years. Long before companionship had emotional meaning, animals and humans lived near one another for practical reasons: warmth, safety, food, and shelter. Over time, that proximity became familiar. Familiarity softened vigilance, and shared space began to feel regulating. From a biological perspective, the human mind evolved in living environments filled with movement and sound. The quiet rhythm of breathing nearby, the presence of another body resting, the sense that awareness was shared. Animals changed how safe an environment felt, even without interaction. Their movement provided information. Their routines shaped expectations. Their presence reduced uncertainty. This regulation didn't depend on affection or attachment. It worked quietly through coexistence. Different animals influenced these systems in different ways. Some brought motion, alertness, and outward attention. Others brought stillness, predictability, and inward calm. Some animals engaged directly with humans, responding to cues and signals. Others remained nearby, shaping the environment without demanding interaction. Over generations, the human nervous system adapted to these patterns. Certain animal presences began to feel energizing. Others felt grounding. Others felt stabilizing over long periods of time. In modern life, these ancient dynamics still exist. Inside homes, apartments, and quiet rooms late at night. When someone feels relaxed beside a cat, or more alive alongside a dog, that response is rarely random. It reflects how their internal systems respond to sound, movement, rhythm, and interaction. Throughout this video, we'll explore how cats and dogs each create distinct experiences for the humans they live with, how they influence sleep, stress recovery, daily structure, social interaction, and emotional tone, and how those effects align more naturally with certain energies, capacities, and life rhythms. There's nothing to decide yet, nothing to resolve, just a quiet beginning and an open exploration of two very different companions and the humans who live beside them. When humans began sharing space with animals, that closeness did not unfold in a single way. Different species approached human life through different paths, shaped by their own instincts, needs, and ways of surviving in the world. Two of those paths led to dogs and cats. Although both now live inside human homes, their journeys into human life were guided by very different forces. Dogs trace their origins back to social hunting animals that lived in groups. Their ancestors survived through cooperation, communication, and shared vigilance. Over time, some of these animals learned that staying near humans offered advantages. Humans hunted. Humans created fire. Humans generated leftovers, warmth, and protection. For these animals, human presence became part of a social system. Generation after generation, animals that stayed close to humans benefited from reading human behavior, responding to signals, and coordinating activity. Those traits gradually strengthened. Over long periods of shared life, dogs became deeply attuned to human movement, posture, voice, and rhythm. Cats followed a quieter path. Rather than arriving through cooperation, cats moved closer to humans through proximity. Early agricultural settlements attracted rodents. Rodents attracted small, solitary hunters. These animals did not need humans to hunt with them or guide them. They simply benefited from living nearby. Humans tolerated their presence because it reduced pests. Cats tolerated humans because the environment offered stability and food. Over time, this mutual tolerance became familiarity. Unlike dogs, cats did not evolve to integrate into human social systems. Their survival depended on independence, sensory awareness, and self-directed movement. They remained skilled at navigating their environment alone, even while sharing space with others. These differences matter because they shaped how each animal interacts with humans today. Dogs tend to orient outward. Their attention moves toward people. They watch faces, track gestures, and respond to changes in human behavior. Their nervous systems evolved to stay connected to the group. Cats tend to orient inward. Their attention moves between the environment and their own internal state. They observe from a distance. They engage selectively. Their nervous systems evolve to conserve energy and respond only when necessary. Neither path is better. Each reflects a different solution to survival. From the human perspective, these paths create different experiences of companionship. Living alongside a dog often means sharing a social rhythm. Dogs look for cues. They synchronize activity. They adjust their behavior in response to human movement and sound. This creates a sense of responsiveness that many humans experience as connection. Living alongside a cat often means sharing space without constant interaction. Cats move through the environment independently. They rest nearby. They approach on their own terms. This creates a sense of parallel presence rather than direct engagement. These patterns developed long before modern homes existed. They are not habits learned recently. They are expressions of evolutionary history still unfolding in everyday life. The human nervous system responds to these differences automatically. Some people feel regulated by outward attention and shared activity. Others feel regulated by quiet coexistence and low interruption. These responses emerge without conscious choice. Understanding these paths helps explain why cats and dogs feel so different to live with. Even when both are deeply familiar, they are not two versions of the same companion. They are two distinct ways animals learn to live beside humans. As this exploration continues, these differences will appear again and again in how attention flows, how stress shifts, how time feels structured, and how rest settles in the body. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship did not evolve in a single direction. It branched. And those branches still shape human life, quietly and continuously, every day. When two beings share space, attention begins to move between them. It's not conscious and not deliberate, but through small shifts in posture, sound, and awareness. Attention is one of the primary ways living systems relate to one another. It determines where energy flows, what is noticed, and how the nervous system organizes itself in response to the environment. Dogs and cats differ profoundly in how attention moves, both toward humans and away from them. Dogs evolved within social groups where survival depended on tracking others closely. In these environments, missing a cue could mean danger, a shift in posture, a sudden change in movement, or a signal of alarm mattered immediately. Over time, this sensitivity became deeply ingrained. As dogs began living alongside humans, this social wiring redirected itself. Human movement, facial expression, tone of voice, and routine became signals worth tracking. Dogs that paid attention to humans benefited. They received food, protection, and inclusion. Their nervous systems adapted to remain outward-facing. Today, this history shows up clearly. Dogs tend to monitor human behavior continuously. They look toward faces. They respond to changes in posture. They notice when someone stands up, sits down, leaves the room, or returns. Their attention flows outward, toward the people they live with. This outward attention creates a feeling of responsiveness. Many humans experience it as being seen or accompanied. Even without touch or speech, the sense that another being is tracking your presence can feel regulating. Cats, by contrast, evolved as solitary hunters. Their survival depended on conserving energy and avoiding unnecessary exposure. Attention was used selectively, directed toward prey, threat, or immediate environmental change. Prolonged social monitoring offered little advantage. When cats began living near humans, this wiring did not fundamentally change. Instead of integrating into a social group, cats adapted by coexisting. They learned to read human patterns enough to avoid danger and access resources while maintaining independence in how attention was allocated. As a result, cats tend to distribute attention differently. Rather than tracking humans continuously, they alternate between observing the environment, monitoring internal state, and occasionally checking in. Their attention comes and goes. This pattern can feel subtle. A cat resting nearby may seem disengaged, yet still aware. A brief glance, a shift in position, or a quiet repositioning often signals that attention is present without being directed outward continuously. From a biological standpoint, neither style is passive. Both are active forms of regulation. Dogs regulate through engagement. Their nervous systems remain tuned to external signals, maintaining readiness through connection. Cats regulate through autonomy. Their nervous systems reduce load by limiting how much attention is directed outward. Humans respond differently to these patterns, depending on their own internal wiring. Some people feel comforted when attention flows toward them. The presence of an outward-focused animal can make the environment feel alive, responsive, and socially anchored. Movement and responsiveness reduce feelings of isolation and can increase a sense of shared rhythm. Other people feel comforted when attention does not demand response. The presence of a quietly aware animal allows the nervous system to rest without social obligation. Attention that drifts in and out can feel spacious, reducing pressure to engage. These responses often operate below conscious awareness. A person may simply describe one animal as soothing and another as too much, without recognizing that the difference lies in how attention moves through the shared space. Importantly, attention also influences how time feels. Outward-focused attention tends to structure time. Activities align. Movements synchronize. The day develops shape through shared engagement. Inward-focused attention allows time to loosen. Moments stretch. Stillness becomes more noticeable. Neither experience is superior. They support different internal needs. In environments where stimulation is already high, constant outward attention may feel overwhelming. In environments that feel empty or unanchored, outward attention may feel stabilizing. The same animal can feel supportive to one person and draining to another, depending on context and internal state. These patterns explain why people often describe dogs as socially engaging and cats as quietly present. These descriptions are not stereotypes. They reflect real differences in how attention evolved to function within each species. As this exploration continues, attention will appear again, shaping stress response, daily rhythm, sleep patterns, and emotional tone. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship is not only about affection or behavior. It is also about where attention rests, how often it moves, and how much response it asks from the human nervous system. Two animals, two ways attention flows, both capable of creating comfort when they align naturally with the person sharing the space. When attention settles between two beings, chemistry begins to shift. Long before humans understood hormones or neurotransmitters, the body was already responding to connection through internal signals. Subtle changes in breathing, muscle tone, and heart rhythm prepared the body for safety, cooperation, or rest. These responses did not require words. They emerged through proximity, movement, and shared awareness. Eye contact is one of the most powerful of these signals. In many social species, eye contact functions as a regulator. It communicates attention, intention, and emotional state. When sustained gently, it can trigger chemical changes that reinforce bonding and reduce stress. Dogs are especially sensitive to this mechanism. Through generations of living closely with humans, dogs developed an unusual responsiveness to human faces. Their nervous systems learned that human eyes, expressions, and gaze direction carried valuable information. Over time, this sensitivity became biological. Modern research shows that when dogs and humans make soft, mutual eye contact, both experience an increase in oxytocin, a hormone associated with bonding, trust, and emotional regulation. This creates a feedback loop. Eye contact increases oxytocin. Oxytocin encourages more eye contact. The loop reinforces itself quietly. For many people, this chemical response feels like connection without effort. A dog looking up from across the room can create a sense of being accompanied. The body responds before the mind interprets what is happening. Cats engage this system differently. Cats did not evolve within cooperative social groups in the same way dogs did. Prolonged eye contact in solitary species often signals threat rather than connection. As a result, cats tend to avoid sustained direct gaze. Their attention remains mobile, shifting between the environment and internal state. When cats do look toward humans, it is often brief. A glance, a slow blink, a momentary check-in. These behaviors still carry meaning, but they do not rely on the same sustained chemical feedback loop. Research suggests that oxytocin can increase during cat-human interaction, especially during gentle play or physical contact. However, the pathway is less dependent on eye contact. Instead, bonding chemistry appears more tied to shared activity, touch, and predictable presence. This distinction matters because it shapes how connection feels. With dogs, bonding often feels immediate and interactive. The chemical response reinforces engagement. With cats, bonding often feels gradual and ambient. The chemical response builds through repeated coexistence rather than focused interaction. Neither pattern is stronger. They operate through different channels. For the human nervous system, these differences can feel profound. Some people feel soothed by direct signals of attention. Eye contact activates familiar social circuitry. The oxytocin response supports relaxation, lowers stress, and enhances emotional warmth. For these individuals, a dog's gaze can feel grounding and reassuring. Other people feel overstimulated by constant social signaling. Sustained eye contact can increase arousal or create subtle pressure to respond. For these individuals, a cat's indirect bonding style may feel more calming. Connection exists without demand. These responses do not reflect emotional capacity or attachment ability. They reflect nervous system preference. Chemical bonding works best when it aligns with how the body expects connection to unfold. It's also important to note that bonding chemistry does not require intensity. Small, repeated interactions can shape internal state over time. A dog resting nearby, occasionally checking in. A cat sharing space day after day. These patterns slowly influence stress hormones, heart rhythm, and emotional baseline. In this way, bonding is not something that happens once. It is something that accumulates. Eye contact, touch, and presence act as inputs. The body integrates them gradually. Over weeks, months, and years, these inputs help define how safe a shared environment feels. Understanding this helps explain why people sometimes describe their bond with an animal as effortless or quietly deep. The chemistry is real, but it unfolds through pathways that match the animal's evolutionary history. As this exploration continues, chemical bonding will reappear, influencing stress recovery, sleep quality, and emotional regulation. For now, it's enough to notice that connection does not rely on the same signals for every species. Eye contact is powerful, but it is only one of many ways biology supports companionship. Different animals activate different pathways. Different people respond to different signals. And when those signals align, bonding feels natural rather than forced. Attachment is often spoken about as an emotional concept, but at its foundation, attachment is biological. It is the nervous system learning where safety resides. It is the body recognizing which presences reduce uncertainty and which environments allow it to settle. This process does not require words. In humans, attachment forms through repeated experiences of proximity, consistency, and response. The same principles apply across species, even when communication happens without language. Dogs and cats both form attachments to humans, yet they do so in very different ways. Dogs evolved within social groups where individuals relied on one another for survival. In those groups, attachment served a clear function. Staying close to others increased safety. Separation carried risk. Over time, nervous systems adapted to treat familiar group members as anchors. As dogs began living alongside humans, this attachment system extended naturally. Humans became part of the dog's social framework. Their presence signaled safety. Their absence registered as disruption. This pattern remains visible today. Many dogs use humans as a secure base. When uncertain, they look toward the person they trust. When stressed, they seek proximity. When resting, they remain aware of where the human is located in space. Attachment expresses itself through orientation and closeness. Cats developed under different pressures. As solitary hunters, cats did not rely on group cohesion for survival. Attachment in the same social sense offered fewer advantages. Instead, safety depended on environmental awareness, territorial familiarity, and internal regulation. When cats began sharing space with humans, attachment emerged differently. Rather than using humans as a constant reference point, cats learned to integrate humans into their environment. Safety became associated with predictable presence rather than continuous interaction. Modern research shows that cats do form attachment bonds with humans. Some cats display patterns similar to what researchers describe as secure attachment. These cats feel comfortable exploring when their human is present and show relaxed behavior upon reunion. Other cats display more avoidant or inconsistent attachment styles. They maintain distance. They engage selectively. These patterns reflect temperament and experience, rather than lack of connection. For humans, these differences shape how attachment feels. With dogs, attachment often feels active. There is movement toward the human. There are signals of reassurance. The bond expresses itself through engagement. With cats, attachment often feels ambient. The bond expresses itself through shared space, routine, and quiet coexistence. Presence matters more than response. Neither form of attachment is stronger or weaker. They simply regulate safety differently. From the perspective of the human nervous system, attachment functions as a stabilizing signal. Knowing that another being is nearby, familiar, and responsive, in whatever form that takes, allows vigilance to soften. Some people feel most secure when attachment includes visible reassurance. Others feel most secure when attachment allows autonomy. These preferences often develop early in life, but they continue to shift depending on context, stress, and energy availability. Importantly, attachment does not require constant closeness. Secure attachment often allows distance. An animal resting across the room, rather than beside someone, can still function as an anchor if the relationship feels predictable. This is why many people feel comforted simply knowing their animal is present somewhere in the home. The body recognizes the familiar pattern. The environment feels complete. Attachment also interacts with routine. Dogs often integrate into human routines directly. Feeding times, walks, and shared activities reinforce attachment through repeated coordination. Cats integrate into routine indirectly. They appear at consistent times. They occupy familiar spaces. Their predictability supports attachment without direct scheduling. These rhythms influence how secure the environment feels. As this exploration continues, attachment will appear again in discussions of stress, sleep, and daily regulation. For now, it's enough to notice that attachment is not defined by how much an animal seeks attention, but by how consistently its presence signals safety. Connection does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it rests quietly in the background, and sometimes that quiet stability is exactly what allows the mind to let go. Once attachment is established, something quieter begins to shape daily life. Not the bond itself, but how that bond expresses itself moment by moment. This is where the difference between presence and participation becomes noticeable. Both dogs and cats offer companionship, yet they do so through different modes of being. These modes influence how the human nervous system rests, how attention settles, and how much energy is required to maintain connection. Dogs tend to participate. Participation means movement toward the human, initiation of interaction, a readiness to respond. Dogs often seek involvement in whatever is happening around them. If a person stands up, the dog notices. If a person moves rooms, the dog may follow. If attention shifts, the dog tracks it. This participation is not learned behavior alone. It reflects social wiring shaped by cooperative living. In social species, participation maintains group cohesion. It keeps individuals synchronized. For many humans, this participation feels reassuring. The sense that another being is actively sharing the moment can reduce feelings of isolation. Participation creates a rhythm of engagement. The environment feels responsive. From a biological perspective, participation increases external regulation. Attention flows outward. Movement becomes coordinated. Time takes on structure through shared activity. Cats tend to offer presence. Presence does not require constant interaction. It exists through shared space rather than shared activity. A cat may enter a room, choose a resting place, and remain there without engaging directly. The connection is felt through proximity, not responsiveness. This presence reflects a different evolutionary strategy. Solitary animals conserve energy by limiting unnecessary engagement. Safety comes from awareness, not participation. Presence is enough. For many humans, this form of companionship feels calming. There is no expectation to respond, no social demand. The nervous system receives reassurance without stimulation. From a biological standpoint, presence supports internal regulation. Attention is allowed to drift inward. Stillness becomes noticeable. The environment feels settled rather than active. These differences influence how people experience rest. Some individuals find participation grounding. Shared movement and engagement keep the mind from drifting into restlessness. Interaction anchors awareness in the present moment. Others find participation exhausting. Continuous responsiveness increases cognitive load. Even gentle interaction can feel like demand. Similarly, some individuals find presence comforting. Quiet companionship allows the body to soften without effort. Others find presence ambiguous. Without engagement, the environment may feel empty or disconnected. These reactions are not preferences chosen consciously. They emerge from how individual nervous systems regulate arousal. Participation increases stimulation in a controlled way. Presence decreases stimulation by default. Neither mode is superior. Both serve regulatory functions depending on context. Importantly, presence and participation are not fixed. Dogs rest quietly. Cats initiate play. Yet the baseline tendency differs, shaping how the relationship feels most of the time. This distinction also affects how people recover from stress. After a stimulating day, participation may feel like too much. Presence may support recovery by allowing the nervous system to downshift. After a socially isolated day, participation may restore energy by reintroducing engagement. The same person may respond differently on different days. Understanding this helps explain why people sometimes feel deeply bonded to an animal, yet prefer its company at a distance, or why someone may enjoy active play at one moment and quiet coexistence at another. Companionship does not require constant interaction to remain meaningful, nor does interaction always deepen connection. Presence allows connection without effort. Participation allows connection through engagement. As this exploration continues, these modes will influence how stress is shared, how sleep is affected, and how daily rhythm unfolds. For now, it's enough to notice that animals shape human experience not only through what they do, but through how they are in space. Some companions join us in motion, some join us in stillness, and both can offer comfort when they meet the nervous system where it already is. Every living space carries a sensory signature. Sound, movement, rhythm, and stillness all contribute to how an environment feels in the body. Even when nothing appears to be happening, the nervous system is continuously receiving information. It registers footsteps, breathing, shifts in posture, and changes in sound. Over time, these inputs shape baseline arousal. Animals play a quiet but powerful role in this process. Dogs and cats each introduce distinct sensory patterns into the home, influencing how the environment is experienced moment by moment. Dogs tend to increase sensory activity. Their presence often comes with audible cues: footsteps across the floor, tags brushing together, breathing nearby, occasional vocalization. Their bodies are usually in motion. They shift positions, follow people between rooms, respond to sounds from outside. This movement creates a dynamic sensory field. For some nervous systems, this activity feels grounding. Continuous low-level stimulation provides feedback that the environment is alive and responsive. The home feels occupied rather than empty. Awareness stays gently anchored outward. For other nervous systems, the same stimulation can feel overwhelming. Repeated sound and movement increase vigilance. The body remains partially alert, even during rest. Neither response is wrong. Sensory processing varies widely between individuals. Cats tend to reduce sensory load. Their movement is quieter. Their steps are light. They spend long periods resting. When they move, they often do so smoothly and with purpose. Vocalizations are typically brief and infrequent. This creates a calmer sensory backdrop. For some nervous systems, This quiet presence supports relaxation. Fewer auditory cues allow arousal to drop. The environment feels settled. Stillness becomes more noticeable. For others, the lack of sensory feedback can feel empty. Without movement or sound, awareness may drift inward too much, leading to restlessness rather than calm. The key difference lies in predictability. Dogs often respond immediately to changes in the environment. A sound outside, a door opening, a person shifting position. This responsiveness increases environmental awareness. The nervous system stays informed. Cats respond selectively. They conserve attention and energy. Many external changes pass without reaction. This reduces overall sensory input. Predictability matters because the nervous system relaxes when patterns are stable. In homes where activity levels are already high, additional sensory input may push the system toward overstimulation. In quieter environments, some level of sensory activity may prevent understimulation. These effects also interact with time of day. During daytime hours, movement and sound may feel neutral or even supportive. At night, when the body prepares for rest, the same inputs can feel more pronounced. A dog shifting position, a cat jumping quietly onto furniture. These small movements carry different weight in silence. Over time, the nervous system adapts. Many people find that familiar sensory patterns become soothing. A dog's breathing nearby, a cat's soft repositioning. These signals begin to register as normal background rather than interruption. This adaptation highlights an important point. Sensory load is not inherently stressful. It becomes stressful when it exceeds the nervous system's capacity to integrate it. Compatibility often depends on how closely an animal's sensory pattern matches a person's tolerance range. Some people feel safest when the environment provides continuous feedback. Others feel safest when the environment remains quiet and predictable. Understanding this helps explain why certain homes feel immediately comfortable, while others feel subtly activating or draining. Animals shape this experience not through intention, but through biology. Their bodies move differently. Their sounds carry different frequencies. Their rhythms interact with human perception in quiet ways. As this exploration continues, sensory load will connect to stress regulation, sleep quality, and emotional recovery. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship alters the sensory landscape of a home, sometimes energizing it, sometimes softening it, and that these changes matter more than we often realize. The nervous system listens even when the mind is at rest, and the quiet signals of living beings help shape how deeply the body can relax. When living beings share space for long periods of time, their internal rhythms begin to influence one another. This process happens quietly. It does not require awareness, intention, or emotional closeness. The nervous system continuously tracks patterns in the environment, including the behavior and physiological state of nearby organisms. Over time, these patterns can begin to align. This phenomenon is known as stress synchronization. In humans, stress is regulated through complex systems involving hormones, heart rhythm, muscle tension, and attention. These systems respond not only to events, but to context. The presence of others matters. Animals living alongside humans become part of that context. Research shows that dogs, in particular, tend to synchronize stress levels with the humans they live with. Measurements of long-term stress hormones, such as cortisol collected from hair samples, reveal that when a human experiences prolonged stress, their dog's stress levels often rise in parallel. When the human's baseline stress decreases, the dog's levels tend to follow. This synchronization appears strongest in environments where humans and dogs spend significant time together and share daily routines. From a biological perspective, this makes sense. Dogs evolved within social groups where staying attuned to the group state was essential for survival. If tension rose within the group, readiness increased. If the group settled, recovery followed. Over generations, dogs became sensitive not only to external threats, but to the internal state of those around them. When dogs live with humans, this sensitivity extends inward. Human stress signals, changes in posture, tone, breathing, and movement provide information. The dog's nervous system adjusts in response. For humans, this synchronization can feel supportive. In calmer periods, shared regulation reinforces stability. The presence of a relaxed dog can amplify a sense of ease. Body rhythms align. Recovery feels smoother. During periods of sustained stress, however, synchronization can work in the opposite direction. Heightened human stress may be mirrored back through increased vigilance or restlessness in the dog. The environment feels more alert. This does not create stress on its own. It reflects existing patterns. Cats show a different relationship to stress synchronization. Studies examining long-term stress markers in cats and their human companions show weaker or inconsistent alignment. In many cases, a cat's stress levels do not closely track the humans over time. This difference reflects evolutionary strategy. Cats evolved to regulate stress independently. Their survival depended on self-directed assessment of threat rather than group-level signaling. As a result, their nervous systems are less likely to mirror the internal state of others. When cats live with humans, they still respond to environmental changes. Loud noises, unfamiliar scents, or disruptions to routine can increase arousal. But the human's emotional state alone appears to play a smaller role in shaping the cat's baseline stress. For humans, this can feel subtly different. Some people experience relief knowing that their internal state does not automatically propagate through the environment. The cat remains steady even when the human feels strained. This can create a sense of containment. Others may feel less regulated without shared synchronization. The absence of mirrored calm may feel isolating during periods of distress. Neither response is universal. Stress synchronization is not inherently beneficial or harmful. It is simply a pattern of shared regulation. For some nervous systems, co-regulation feels stabilizing. Sharing emotional weather reduces load. For others, independence feels safer. Internal states are allowed to rise and fall without amplification. Importantly, synchronization does not require interaction. A dog resting nearby, attuned to subtle changes in movement and sound, may adjust its internal state without visible behavior. A cat resting in another room may remain unaffected. These processes unfold slowly. Over weeks and months, shared environments shape shared rhythms. Understanding this helps explain why some people describe their animals as emotionally in tune with them. while others describe their animals as steady regardless of mood. Both experiences are grounded in biology. As this exploration continues, stress synchronization will connect to daily rhythm, sleep patterns, and emotional recovery. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship influences not only how the environment feels, but how internal systems rise and fall together. Some bonds regulate through shared movement. Some regulate through parallel steadiness. And both can support rest when they align with the human nervous system's natural rhythm. Calm does not always feel the same in the body. Sometimes calm arrives as stillness. Muscles soften. Breathing slows. Attention drifts inward. The environment feels quiet and complete. Other times, calm arrives with movement. The body feels awake but not tense. Energy flows without urgency. There is activity but no pressure. Both experiences reflect regulation. They simply use different pathways. Living alongside animals can shape which form of calm becomes more familiar. Dogs often introduce a form of calm that energizes. Through play, movement, and shared activity, dogs encourage physical engagement. Walking, tossing a toy, or moving through space together increases heart rate and circulation. The body becomes active, yet remains regulated through rhythm and repetition. Research shows that interacting with dogs often increases physical activity while lowering stress markers. The nervous system interprets movement as purposeful rather than threatening. This combination can produce a calm that feels alert and grounded at the same time. For many people, this type of calm feels restorative. Energy returns. The body feels capable. Restlessness finds direction. Cats often introduce a form of calm that settles. Through stillness, quiet presence, and low-intensity interaction, cats encourage the nervous system to downshift. Heart rate may rise briefly during play, yet emotional arousal decreases. The body feels soothed without being activated. Studies examining human-cat interaction show that short periods of gentle play or petting can reduce subjective stress while supporting bonding chemistry. Calm arrives through containment rather than movement. For many people, this type of calm feels deeply relaxing. The environment becomes quieter. Internal noise softens. Rest feels accessible. These differences matter because humans vary in how they recover from stress. Some nervous systems recover through motion. After cognitive or emotional strain, movement restores balance. Stillness can feel uncomfortable or restless. Other nervous systems recover through stillness. After stimulation, quiet allows integration. Movement can feel like demand. Animals influence which pathway becomes available. A dog invites activity even during rest periods. A cat allows rest to deepen without interruption. Both can support regulation when they match the human's current needs. Importantly, these patterns are flexible. A dog resting quietly beside someone may support settling calm. A cat engaging in playful bursts may briefly energize the environment. Yet over time, the baseline influence remains. Calm that energizes often brings structure to time. Activity creates beginning and end. Effort gives way to rest. Calm that settles allows time to stretch. Moments blend, awareness drifts. Neither form is superior. In daily life, people often benefit from both at different times. Movement during the day, stillness at night, engagement followed by rest. Compatibility emerges when an animal's typical influence aligns with a person's most frequent needs. Understanding this helps explain why people describe certain animals as motivating and others as comforting. These descriptions reflect real physiological effects rather than personality traits. As this exploration continues, calm will connect to daily rhythm, sleep quality, and long-term well-being. For now, it's enough to notice that calm is not the absence of energy. It is the presence of regulation. Some companions help calm by inviting movement. Some help calm by offering stillness. And both can support the body when they meet it where it already is. Time is also not experienced evenly by the body. Beyond clocks and schedules, the nervous system perceives time through rhythm. Patterns of activity, rest, movement, and stillness shape how the day unfolds internally. These rhythms influence alertness, energy, and the ability to transition between states. Animals living alongside humans become part of this temporal landscape. Dogs and cats shape daily rhythm in different ways, not through intention, but through their own biological timing and needs. Dogs tend to introduce structure. Their daily needs occur at relatively fixed intervals. Eating, walking, and social interaction often follow predictable patterns. These patterns repeat day after day, creating anchors in time. For humans, this structure can stabilize rhythm. Morning begins with movement. Evening transitions through routine. The day gains shape through repeated sequences. From a biological perspective, regular activity cues support circadian regulation. Light exposure during walks, consistent movement, and repeated social interaction help align internal clocks with the external day. For some people, this external structure feels grounding. Time feels purposeful. Transitions become easier. The body learns when to be active and when to rest. Cats shape time differently. Their needs are less tied to strict scheduling. While cats do develop routines, they tend to remain flexible. Activity often occurs in bursts, followed by long periods of rest. Feeding and interaction adapt more easily to human variation. This flexibility allows time to remain fluid. For humans, this can feel liberating. The day unfolds without rigid anchors. Rest can occur spontaneously. Activity responds to internal cues rather than external demand. From a biological standpoint, this supports autonomy in rhythm. The nervous system responds to internal signals of fatigue or alertness, rather than adhering to imposed schedules. These differences influence how people experience days. Some individuals thrive with structure. Repeated routines reduce cognitive load. Decisions feel simpler. The environment feels predictable. Others thrive with flexibility. Variation prevents pressure. Autonomy supports regulation. The environment feels spacious. Animals amplify these tendencies. Living with a dog can reinforce routine. Living with a cat can preserve variability. Importantly, rhythm also affects stress. Predictable structure can reduce uncertainty, lowering baseline stress for some people. For others, rigidity increases tension, making flexibility more regulating. The same pattern can feel supportive or constraining, depending on internal state. Over time, daily rhythm influences sleep. Consistent timing cues support the body's transition into rest. Irregular timing allows rest to emerge naturally when the body is ready. Both pathways can support sleep when they align with the individual. Understanding this helps explain why some people feel more balanced with a structured companion, while others feel more at ease with a flexible one. Neither experience is inherently healthier. Time is not a single system. It is felt through rhythm, not measured through minutes. As this exploration continues, rhythm will connect directly to night experience and sleep quality. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship shapes how days flow, how transitions feel, and how rest is approached. Some companions help organize time. Some allow time to soften. And both influence how easily the body moves towards sleep. Night changes how the nervous system listens. As external stimulation fades, small sounds grow louder. Subtle movement becomes noticeable. The environment feels larger, quieter, and more sensitive to interruption. Sleep is not only a state of rest, it is a gradual transition. The body lowers vigilance slowly, releasing awareness in stages. Anything that alters rhythm during this transition becomes more visible. Animals influence this process simply by being present. Dogs and cats affect the night in different ways, shaped by their natural activity patterns and their relationship to human rhythm. Dogs tend to follow human schedules more closely. Through domestication, dogs adapted to align their activity with the people they live beside. When humans rest, dogs often rest. When lights dim, movement slows. This alignment can support nighttime settling. At the same time, dogs remain alert to environmental change. Sounds outside, movement in the hallway, or shifts in human posture can prompt brief arousal. A dog adjusting position, sighing, or standing up can register clearly in a quiet room. For many people, these signals feel familiar rather than disruptive. The nervous system recognizes them as part of a shared environment. Over time, predictable movement becomes background. Cats follow a different rhythm. Biologically, cats are most active during dawn and dusk. This crepuscular pattern reflects hunting instincts shaped long before indoor living. Even in modern homes, these rhythms persist. At night, cats may move more freely, jumping quietly onto furniture, exploring the space, repositioning often without sound. These movements are not errors or disruptions. They reflect natural timing. For some people, this activity feels neutral or even comforting. The presence of life moving through the space can reinforce a sense of continuity. For others, the same movement becomes noticeable during light sleep phases. Research on pet ownership and sleep quality reflects this complexity. Large population studies suggest that people who live with pets often report equal or slightly improved overall sleep quality compared to those who do not. Factors such as companionship, reduced loneliness, and emotional security appear to support rest. At the same time, studies also note brief sleep interruptions associated with nighttime animal movement. These interruptions do not necessarily reduce total sleep time or sleep satisfaction. The nervous system often adapts. What matters most is predictability. When nighttime patterns repeat consistently, the body learns to integrate them. a dog shifting position at the same time each night, a cat making brief movements before settling again. These signals become expected. Unexpected change carries more weight than familiar motion. Importantly, the nervous system does not interpret every interruption as negative. Brief arousal followed by rapid settling can be part of normal sleep architecture. Many people experience partial awakenings throughout the night without memory of them. Familiar environmental cues allow the body to return to rest smoothly. This helps explain why some individuals sleep comfortably beside animals, while others prefer distance. The difference often lies in how sensitive the nervous system is to nighttime input. Neither response reflects tolerance or preference alone. It reflects internal processing style. Some nervous systems remain receptive during rest. Others seek deeper isolation to fully disengage. Animals simply add another layer to the nighttime environment. As this exploration continues, the next sections will examine how daytime responsibility, movement, and physical engagement influence these nighttime experiences. For now, it's enough to notice that sleep does not require perfect stillness. It requires familiarity, and animals, through repetition and presence, become part of the night's rhythm. Movement happens, stillness returns, and the body learns which signals allow it to rest. Everyday life is shaped by small, repeated tasks. Most of these tasks do not feel heavy on their own. They appear, are handled, and fade away. Over time, however, the accumulation of these decisions and actions forms what is often called cognitive load, the amount of mental effort required to move through a day. Living alongside animals quietly influences this load. Dogs and cats each introduce responsibilities, yet they do so in different ways, and these differences shape how the day feels to the human nervous system. Dogs tend to bring visible responsibility. Their care often involves active decisions: when to walk, when to feed, how long to engage, where to go. These tasks require planning and follow-through, repeated daily. From a cognitive perspective, this creates structure. Decisions cluster into predictable routines. Once established, these routines reduce uncertainty. The body learns what comes next. For many people, this predictability feels stabilizing. Decisions become automatic. Mental effort decreases as habits form. Responsibility becomes part of rhythm rather than strain. For others, the same visibility increases mental engagement. Attention remains outward. Tasks ask to be addressed consistently. Even gentle obligations require presence. Cats tend to bring quieter responsibility. Their care is often less time-bound. Feeding, cleaning, and interaction occur within broader windows rather than fixed moments. Tasks appear and disappear without demanding immediate response. From a cognitive perspective, this allows responsibility to remain in the background. Decisions can be deferred. Attention can shift inward without interruption. For many people, this subtlety feels relieving. The day remains spacious. Mental effort stays low. For others, the lack of structure can feel diffuse. Without clear anchors, tasks blend into the background, sometimes increasing rather than reducing cognitive load. Research on decision fatigue supports this variability. When decisions repeat predictably, the brain expends less energy. When decisions remain flexible or ambiguous, the brain continues to monitor options. Neither pattern is universally easier. The impact depends on how an individual processes obligation. Responsibility also interacts with energy availability. On days when energy is high, visible tasks may feel engaging. On days when energy is low, subtle responsibility may feel more manageable. Over long periods, alignment between responsibility style and energy pattern supports regulation. Importantly, responsibility does not exist in isolation. It interacts with sleep, movement, and emotional state. Structured responsibility can support rhythm, reinforcing earlier transitions into rest. Flexible responsibility can allow recovery during periods of fatigue. Animals amplify whichever pattern they bring. Living with a dog may encourage engagement even during low energy periods. Living with a cat may allow energy conservation without disruption. Neither experience implies difficulty or ease by default. They reflect different ways responsibility integrates into daily life. Over time, these patterns influence how the day feels as a whole. Some days feel guided, others feel open, some feel purposeful, others feel spacious. Animals do not impose responsibility. They offer a framework through which responsibility is experienced. As this exploration continues, responsibility will connect to physical movement, bodily awareness, and long-term health. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship quietly shapes how much mental effort the day requires, and how that effort is distributed. Tasks arise, tasks resolve, and the nervous system adapts to the rhythm they create. The body is not designed to remain still for long periods of time. Movement supports circulation, regulates metabolism, and helps distribute energy throughout the system. Even small changes in posture and position influence how the body feels from moment to moment. Animals living alongside humans subtly shape how movement appears in daily life. Dogs and cats influence the body through different patterns of activity, not through intention, but through their own biological rhythms. Dogs tend to invite movement. Their needs often include walking, play, and shared activity. These movements are usually rhythmic rather than intense. Repetition matters more than effort. Research consistently shows that people who live with dogs engage in more regular physical activity than those who do not. Walking with a dog increases daily step count, exposure to outdoor light, and time spent moving at a moderate pace. For the body, this kind of movement supports circulation and joint health. Muscles engage and release. Breathing deepens. Energy flows without urgency. For many people, this movement feels natural rather than forced. It becomes part of the day's rhythm rather than a separate task. Cats influence movement more subtly. Their care rarely requires sustained physical activity. Instead, movement occurs in brief, scattered moments. Bending to refill a bowl, reaching to clean a litter area, gentle play that engages the hands and arms. While these movements are smaller, they still affect bodily awareness. Frequent posture changes prevent prolonged stillness. Awareness remains connected to the body without demanding exertion. For some people, this gentler movement aligns well with their energy levels. The body remains engaged without being pushed. For others, the lack of sustained movement may feel insufficient, especially if the rest of the day involves prolonged sitting. Importantly, movement interacts with mood and cognition. Physical activity supports the release of neurotransmitters associated with emotional balance. Even moderate movement can shift internal state, reducing restlessness and supporting focus. The body does not require intensity to benefit. It responds to consistency. Movement also affects how the body prepares for rest. During the day, activity helps build a contrast between motion and stillness. At night, this contrast supports settling. The body recognizes that effort has occurred and allows rest to deepen. Animals contribute to this process by shaping how often and how naturally movement appears. Living with a dog often means moving at regular intervals. Living with a cat often means moving in response to small needs, rather than scheduled activity. Neither pattern is inherently better. The body adapts to both. Over time, the alignment between movement pattern and bodily capacity becomes noticeable. When movement matches energy, the body feels supported. When movement exceeds capacity, fatigue appears. When movement falls short, restlessness may emerge. Animals do not control these outcomes. They influence the environment in which movement occurs. As this exploration continues, movement will connect to cardiovascular health, emotional regulation, and long-term well-being. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship shapes not only how much the body moves, but how movement feels. Some bodies rest best after motion. Some rest best after gentle engagement. And both pathways support balance when they align with the body's needs. The heart responds not only to moments, but to patterns. Each beat reflects an ongoing negotiation between activity and rest, between demand and recovery. Over long periods of time, the heart adapts to the rhythms it encounters most often. Living alongside animals becomes part of that rhythm. Dogs and cats influence the cardiovascular system differently, not through dramatic events, but through repeated everyday interactions that accumulate quietly. Dogs tend to influence the heart through movement and synchronization. Regular walking, shared activity, and coordinated daily routines increase circulation and support steady cardiovascular engagement. Over time, these repeated movements help condition the heart to respond efficiently to moderate demand. Large population studies have observed associations between dog ownership and lower rates of cardiovascular events. These findings do not suggest protection or guarantees. Instead, they reflect how consistent activity and structured rhythm support long-term heart regulation. Beyond movement, dogs also influence heart rhythm through social engagement. Interaction, eye contact, and shared attention can shift autonomic balance, supporting parasympathetic activity, the branch of the nervous system associated with recovery and calm. For many people, these combined effects create a steady cardiovascular pattern. The heart learns to respond, then settle, then respond again. Variability increases, supporting resilience over time. Cats influence the heart through different pathways. Their presence tends to encourage stillness and prolonged rest. Quiet companionship reduces baseline arousal. Heart rate often slows during extended periods of calm interaction or shared space. Some studies have observed cardiovascular benefits associated with cat ownership as well. including lower blood pressure and reduced stress markers in certain populations. These effects appear linked to relaxation rather than activity. Rather than conditioning the heart through movement, cats support regulation through reduction of demand. For some individuals, this pathway feels deeply restorative. The heart experiences fewer spikes. Recovery becomes smoother. Stillness becomes familiar. These differences matter because cardiovascular health is not shaped by activity alone. It is shaped by balance. Hearts benefit from movement. They also benefit from recovery. Too much demand without rest strains the system. Too little stimulation can reduce adaptability. Animals influence where this balance tends to settle. Living with a dog often places the heart in a pattern of moderate, repeated engagement followed by rest. Living with a cat often places the heart in a pattern of extended calm, punctuated by brief activity. Neither pattern is universally superior. The body responds best when rhythm matches capacity. Over decades, these patterns shape how the heart ages. When activity and recovery remain balanced, the heart maintains flexibility. When imbalance persists, strain or stagnation may appear. Animals do not create these outcomes alone. They interact with lifestyle, environment, and individual physiology. What they contribute is consistency, shared routines, familiar presence, predictable rhythm. The heart responds well to familiarity. It adapts to what repeats. As this exploration continues, cardiovascular regulation will connect to emotional state and long-term well-being. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship influences the heart, not through intensity, but through time. Beat by beat, day by day. Quiet patterns shaping quiet strength. Mood does not exist in isolation. It emerges from a combination of internal chemistry, external environment, and the sense of connection a person feels throughout the day. These influences do not need to be dramatic to matter. Small, consistent signals shape emotional tone over time. Animals living alongside humans become part of this emotional environment. Dogs and cats support mood in different ways, through different kinds of presence and interaction. Dogs often influence mood through engagement. Their responsiveness, movement, and attention create frequent moments of interaction. A glance, a greeting, a shared activity. These moments punctuate the day with signals of connection. For many people, this outward engagement reduces feelings of emotional distance. The environment feels responsive. Awareness moves outward rather than remaining inward. Research consistently shows that people living with pets report lower levels of loneliness compared to those without. This effect appears especially strong when interaction is frequent and predictable. With dogs, companionship often feels active. Emotional support arrives through shared experience rather than quiet reflection. Mood lifts through participation. Cats influence mood through steadiness. Their presence is often quiet, consistent, and non-intrusive. A cat resting nearby, returning to the same place each day, or appearing at familiar times creates a sense of continuity. For many people, this continuity feels supportive. Emotional space fills gently rather than abruptly. The environment feels less empty without requiring interaction. Research suggests that while cats also reduce loneliness, the effect operates differently. Rather than replacing social interaction, cats often support emotional baseline. Mood steadies through routine presence. Studies examining depression and pet ownership show mixed findings. Some individuals experience improved emotional well-being. Others show little change. These differences reflect variability in how people respond to companionship. Animals do not function as treatment. They influence context. For some nervous systems, frequent engagement supports emotional balance. For others, quiet presence prevents emotional depletion. Importantly, emotional support does not always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like distraction, sometimes like grounding, sometimes like consistency. Dogs may lift mood by drawing attention outward. Cats may stabilize mood by reducing internal noise. Loneliness itself is not simply the absence of others. It is the absence of felt connection. Animals can reduce this absence through different pathways. A dog waiting by the door, responding to movement, or joining in routine can reinforce the sense of being accompanied. A cat resting silently nearby can reinforce the sense of shared space. Both experiences matter. Over time, these patterns influence how emotional energy is distributed. Some people feel restored by interaction. Others feel restored by stillness. Animals amplify whichever pathway they represent. As this exploration continues, emotional support will connect to social life and environmental fit. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship does not always need to be expressive to be meaningful. Support can arrive quietly. Presence can be enough. And mood often shifts, not because something changes, but because something remains. Human social life is shaped long before conversation begins. It begins with where a person goes, how often they leave their home, and how visible they feel as they move through shared spaces. These patterns influence connection quietly, without requiring effort or intention. Animals living alongside humans become part of this social architecture, not because they encourage or discourage interaction directly, but because they shape how often a person moves outward into the world and how often they remain within it. Dogs and cats tend to influence this movement in different ways. Dogs often bring people into public space. Walking a dog places a person in shared environments where brief encounters are likely to occur. Sidewalks, paths, and parks create moments of visibility. A glance, a nod, a few exchanged words that begin and end naturally. These interactions are usually light. They do not require emotional investment. They do not demand continuation. Yet they remind that nervous system that the outside world is accessible. Research on pet ownership consistently shows that people living with dogs report more frequent casual social contact. This does not necessarily reflect increased sociability. It reflects increased exposure. The dog acts as a social signal. Others feel permitted to acknowledge presence. The interaction feels justified by context rather than intention. For some people, this outward exposure feels supportive. The world feels closer. Social distance shortens. Even brief recognition can reduce feelings of disconnection. For others, the same exposure can feel neutral. It passes without meaning, or it may feel energizing on some days and draining on others. Cats shape social experience differently. Cats tend to remain within the home. Their presence does not require regular movement through public space. Social contact remains chosen rather than incidental. For many people, this inward orientation feels protective. The home becomes a complete environment. Social energy is preserved rather than distributed outward. Research suggests that people living with cats report fewer pet-related social interactions. This does not indicate withdrawal. It reflects a different boundary between public and private life. Social life becomes intentional. Interaction occurs through planned contact rather than spontaneous encounter. For some nervous systems, this containment feels stabilizing. The world feels manageable. Connection happens on one's own terms. For others, the same containment may feel isolating over time. Without gentle exposure, the outside world may feel distant rather than accessible. Neither experience is fixed. Social needs fluctuate. Energy changes, context shifts. Animals amplify whichever direction they naturally bring. A dog increases outward contact by existing visibly. A cat supports inward focus by remaining quietly present. These influences operate subtly. A person may not consciously associate their social rhythm with the animal they live beside. The nervous system adapts first. The mind names the change later, if at all. Importantly, social support does not depend on quantity. Brief encounters can provide enough signal to reduce isolation. Extended solitude can provide enough space to restore energy. Animals influence which signals become more frequent. Dogs tend to increase exposure without obligation. Cats tend to preserve boundary without isolation. Neither path reflects preference or personality alone. They reflect compatibility between social energy and environmental input. As this exploration continues, social patterns will connect to physical space, noise tolerance, and long-term fit. For now, it's enough to notice that companionship shapes how a person moves between the inner world and the outer one. Some companions encourage gentle visibility. Some support quiet containment. And both can serve connection when they align with how a person relates to others. Every place carries a nervous system signature. Before thought forms, before language assigns meaning, the body senses space through subtle cues. Distance, enclosure, sound, stillness. These elements register quietly, shaping comfort or alertness without requiring attention. Animals living alongside humans become part of this sensory environment, not as features to manage, but as moving, breathing presences that influence how space feels over time. Dogs and cats tend to shape space and sound in distinct ways, simply through how they occupy their surroundings. Dogs often make space feel active. Their bodies move through rooms with purpose. They follow people from place to place. They change position frequently, responding to shifts in attention or sound. This movement keeps the environment responsive. Even when resting, dogs remain oriented outward. A sound outside, a door opening, a change in posture nearby. These cues often prompt subtle alertness. Sound accompanies this presence. Breathing, shifting weight, occasional vocal response. These sounds form a consistent auditory layer, not loud, not constant, but noticeable. For some nervous systems, this background activity feels stabilizing. The environment feels aware. The space feels shared. Silence is softened by familiar signals of life. For others, the same sensory input may keep the body slightly engaged. Movement and sound prevent full disengagement. The environment feels active even during rest. Cats tend to make space feel settled. Their movement is selective and contained. Cats choose specific locations and return to them repeatedly. Rather than moving through space, they inhabit it. Vertical territory becomes important. Elevated surfaces, corners, and edges define where the cat exists. This creates zones of stillness rather than paths of movement. Sound is minimal. Footsteps are light. Vocalization is sparse. Much of the time, the environment remains quiet, even when the cat is present and awake. For many nervous systems, this quiet containment feels calming. The space feels predictable. Stillness deepens. The body relaxes more easily. For others, the same quiet may feel incomplete. Without low-level sound or movement, the space may feel empty rather than restful. Noise tolerance varies widely between individuals. Some nervous systems regulate best with gentle, consistent sound. Others require near silence to fully settle. These preferences are often shaped by early experience, sensory sensitivity, and baseline arousal. Animals influence where the environment naturally settles along this spectrum. Dogs tend to introduce low-level variability. Cats tend to preserve consistency. Importantly, predictability matters more than volume. A sound that occurs regularly becomes part of the environment. A movement that follows a pattern fades into background awareness. The body adapts to what repeats. Animals provide repetition. A dog pacing at familiar times. A cat resting in the same place. These patterns teach the nervous system what to expect. Space also shapes how the body rests. Larger, more dynamic environments keep the body ready to respond. Smaller, contained environments invite settling. Neither state is inherently better. They support different kinds of regulation. Some people feel safest in spaces that feel alive and responsive. Others feel safest in spaces that feel quiet and contained. Animals amplify these qualities simply by existing within them. Living with a dog often expands the sense of space. Movement extends outward. The environment feels connected to what lies beyond the home. Living with a cat often contracts space gently. Attention turns inward. The home becomes a complete environment. Over time, these patterns influence how place is experienced. A home does not feel restful because it is quiet or large. It feels restful when the sensory environment matches the nervous system's needs. Animals do not create or resolve this match alone. They interact with architecture, neighborhood sound, and daily routine. But their presence shapes how space feels moment to moment. As this exploration continues, environment will connect to life stages and changing capacity. For now, it is enough to notice that companionship influences how space settles, how sound lands, and how place becomes felt rather than measured. Some spaces hold movement, some hold stillness, and the right environment allows the body to recognize that it belongs. Compatibility is not something that appears once and then remains unchanged. It evolves quietly, shaped by time, energy, and circumstance. the body changes. The pace of life shifts. What once felt effortless may later feel demanding, and what once felt unnecessary may later feel supportive. Animals living alongside humans move through these changes as steady presences. They do not adjust themselves deliberately to life stages. Instead, their rhythms interact with the human system as it changes, revealing new forms of fit over time. In earlier stages of adulthood, energy often feels expansive. The body recovers quickly. Movement feels natural. Time feels open, even when life is busy. During this period, many people are oriented outward, building routines, relationships, and direction. Dogs often align easily with this outward momentum. Their needs integrate into an already active life. Walking, shared routines, and engagement blend into days that already include movement and transition. Cats interact differently at this stage. Their quiet presence can provide grounding during periods of change. For some, this balance feels restorative. For others, the stillness may feel less relevant when energy is high. As life progresses, rhythms begin to settle. Work patterns stabilize. Responsibilities accumulate. Mental energy becomes more valuable. The nervous system begins to prioritize efficiency and recovery. At this stage, compatibility often shifts from stimulation toward regulation. Dogs may offer structure. Repeated routines create predictable anchors. For some people, this reduces mental load. Decisions become automatic. Days feel guided. For others, the same structure may feel less flexible. Time feels allocated rather than open. Compatibility depends on how well routine aligns with current capacity. Cats often support this stage through adaptability. Their care fits into varied schedules. Their presence does not require constant engagement. Environment remains supportive even as demands increase. Later in life, physical and sensory experience may change further. Energy becomes more variable. Recovery may take longer. Sensory input can feel more intense. At this stage, compatibility often centers on ease rather than engagement. Cats frequently align well with these shifts. Their movement is contained. Their presence is predictable. Care tasks remain manageable without sustained exertion. Dogs may still align strongly for some individuals, especially when routine provides purpose and structure. For others, care may evolve, requiring adjustments in how companionship is shared. Importantly, life stages are not linear. Energy does not decline evenly. Capacity does not follow a schedule. Some people remain active well into later life. Others experience shifts earlier. Compatibility responds to these individual trajectories rather than age alone. Over long periods, emotional bonds deepen. Shared routines become familiar. Presence becomes expected. Animals integrate into memory, shaping how days feel even when interaction changes. Activity may reduce. Connection remains. Research in human-animal interaction suggests that long-term companionship supports emotional stability across life stages, not through constant engagement, but through continuity. The animal remains. The relationship adapts. Compatibility, then, is not about choosing correctly once. It is about how well a relationship evolves alongside changing needs. What felt engaging may later feel taxing. What felt subtle may later feel supportive. These shifts do not represent failure. They reflect natural change. As this exploration continues, moments of misalignment will be addressed gently. For now, it's enough to recognize that fit is dynamic. Life moves, energy changes, and companionship adjusts quietly alongside us. Compatibility is often most noticeable when it shifts, not in moments of conflict and not through obvious disruption, but through subtle differences in rhythm. Times when energy moves in slightly different directions, when one system is ready to engage while another is ready to settle. These moments are not signs of something going wrong. They are natural features of living systems. Humans experience fluctuations in energy every day. Attention rises and falls. The body alternates between outward focus and inward rest. These changes occur quietly, often without conscious awareness. Animals living alongside humans maintain their own rhythms. Dogs and cats express these rhythms differently, and when those rhythms meet changing human energy, moments of misalignment can appear. Dogs tend to express needs clearly and outwardly. When engagement is desired, dogs often show it through movement, proximity, and attention. Their signals are visible and immediate. The environment becomes active. When human energy aligns with this outward rhythm, interaction feels seamless. Movement flows naturally. Attention follows shared activity. When energy does not align, the experience shifts gently. A person may feel internally quiet while the environment remains responsive. The body may seek stillness while motion continues nearby. This contrast registers as awareness rather than discomfort. Over time, repeated contrast becomes informative. It highlights differences in timing rather than differences in desire. Cats express needs in a quieter way. Their signals often arrive through presence rather than demand. A cat may remain nearby without seeking interaction, maintaining stillness even as the human system becomes active. When human energy aligns with this subtle rhythm, the environment feels harmonious. Attention settles. The body rests easily. When energy does not align, the contrast appears differently. A person may seek engagement while the space remains calm. The nervous system stays alert while the environment remains unchanged. Again, this does not signal failure. It reveals timing differences. Research in human-animal interaction suggests that well-being depends less on perfect alignment and more on adaptability. Nervous systems are designed to adjust. They learn from repetition. Small mismatches often resolve naturally as routines soften and expectations shift. Alignment is not static. It moves with sleep quality, with workload, with seasons, with life stage. Moments of misalignment often appear during transitions, after changes in schedule. During periods of fatigue, when energy patterns shift temporarily, animals do not create these moments. They reflect them. Dogs reflect outward energy. Cats reflect inward energy. Neither is asking for more or less. They are maintaining their own rhythm. Importantly, awareness of misalignment does not require correction. The nervous system registers difference simply to understand the environment. Awareness itself is neutral. Some people notice these shifts more readily than others. Highly sensitive systems detect contrast quickly. Other systems adapt without conscious recognition. Neither response indicates preference or tolerance. It reflects processing style. Animals amplify existing tendencies. When alignment is present, companionship feels effortless. When alignment drifts, awareness increases gently. Over long periods, alignment shifts and returns many times. Daily rhythms change. Capacity fluctuates. Needs evolve. Compatibility exists not in perfection, but in movement. As this exploration continues, the next section will expand from alignment into capacity, focusing on how changing energy shapes what feels sustainable in everyday life. For now, it is enough to recognize that moments of misalignment are part of healthy interaction. Rhythms drift, they adjust, and compatibility lives in responsiveness, not sameness. Every day carries a different amount of energy. Some days feel spacious. Attention moves easily. The body responds without effort. Other days feel quieter, slower, or more contained. Energy arrives in smaller portions and is used more carefully. These variations are not irregularities. They are part of how living systems function. Human energy changes across days, seasons, and years. Sleep quality, workload, emotional demand, physical health, and environment all influence how much capacity is available at any given time. Animals, living alongside humans, interact with this changing capacity, not by adding difficulty or ease, but by meeting the body where it is through their own daily needs and rhythms. Dogs tend to bring consistent demands. Their care often involves repeated actions that occur regardless of daily variation. Feeding, movement, and interaction follow recognizable patterns. These patterns continue even when human energy fluctuates. For some people, this consistency supports regulation. On days when energy feels scattered, predictable routines create structure. Decisions become automatic. The body follows familiar sequences without effort. For others, consistency feels most supportive on high-energy days. When capacity is full, engagement feels natural. On lower-energy days, the same routines may feel more noticeable simply because capacity is reduced. This difference does not reflect resilience or weakness. It reflects how energy is distributed. Cats tend to bring adaptable demands. Their care often allows flexibility. Tasks can occur within broader windows. Interaction adjusts easily to human availability. Presence remains steady without requiring response. For many people, this adaptability aligns well with fluctuating energy. On low-energy days, the environment remains calm. On higher energy days, engagement can increase naturally. For others, adaptability can feel diffuse. Without clear anchors, days may feel less structured, especially when energy is abundant. Capacity, then, is not about how much a person can do. It is about how well daily demands match available energy. When demands align with capacity, the body feels supported. When demands exceed capacity, awareness increases. When demands fall far below capacity, restlessness may appear. Animals do not determine these outcomes. They interact with existing patterns. Over time, capacity changes. What felt manageable at one stage may feel different later. Energy availability evolves with age, health, and circumstance. Compatibility responds to these shifts naturally. Importantly, capacity is not static even within a single day. Morning energy differs from evening energy. Social energy differs from physical energy. Cognitive energy differs from emotional energy. Animals interact with all of these layers simultaneously. A dog may support physical movement while drawing on social energy. A cat may preserve emotional energy while allowing physical rest. Neither interaction is better. They are different. Research on human-animal interaction suggests that well-being improves when daily demands feel sustainable. Sustainability is subjective. It depends on alignment, not effort. Capacity is also shaped by recovery. Rest restores energy. Familiar routines reduce expenditure. Predictable environments allow the nervous system to conserve resources. Animals influence recovery simply by being present within these systems. Dogs may encourage recovery through routine and movement. Cats may support recovery through stillness and consistency. Over long periods, people often adjust naturally. Routines soften. Interaction changes form. Care adapts quietly as capacity evolves. Compatibility remains possible because it is flexible. As this exploration continues, the next sections will expand outward, first into individual variation, then into the full validity of choosing no companion at all. For now, it is enough to recognize that everyday reality is shaped not by how much energy exists, but by how gently it is met. Energy rises, energy falls, and compatibility lives in meeting the day as it is. Not every supportive environment includes an animal. This is an important truth, though it is often left unspoken. In many conversations, companionship is assumed. Pet ownership is framed as enrichment, as comfort, as something that naturally improves life. Yet well-being does not require an animal presence. Human nervous systems regulate in many ways, some through connection, some through structure, some through solitude, some through quiet continuity, without additional variables. The absence of a pet can be a complete and stable state. Research on well-being consistently shows that people without pets can experience the same levels of emotional balance, sleep quality, and life satisfaction as those with animals. Companionship is one pathway among many, not a universal requirement. This matters because pressure can quietly enter the conversation. Pressure to want a pet. Pressure to feel incomplete without one. Pressure to interpret preference as deficiency. These pressures do not reflect biological truth. Some nervous systems regulate best in environments with minimal unpredictability. Others restore energy through stillness, autonomy, and uninterrupted space. For these individuals, the absence of an animal may support deeper rest and steadier rhythm. This does not reflect avoidance or lack of warmth. It reflects alignment. Alternative regulation sources exist naturally. Routine provides structure. Environment provides containment. Human relationships provide connection. Solitude provides restoration. These sources do not require supplementation. In fact, adding variables to an already balanced system can reduce stability rather than increase it. Animals introduce presence, movement, and rhythm. For many, this is supportive. For others, it may be unnecessary. Neither experience is more complete. Importantly, choosing not to live with an animal does not represent a closed door. Life remains open. Energy remains available for other forms of connection. Attention remains flexible. Space remains adaptable. The nervous system does not measure fulfillment by the number of beings present. It measures safety, predictability, and resonance. Research on stress regulation shows that environments perceived as controllable support lower baseline arousal. Control does not imply dominance. It implies coherence. For some people, coherence is best maintained through simplicity. Fewer variables, clear boundaries, stable routines. This simplicity supports rest. It allows attention to settle without monitoring. It allows energy to circulate without interruption. Choosing no pet can be an act of care rather than absence. It can reflect an understanding of one's own rhythms, capacity, and needs. Importantly, this choice does not need to be permanent. Compatibility changes over time. Capacity evolves. Preferences shift. Some people choose animals later in life. Some choose them temporarily. Some never choose them at all. All of these paths are valid. The absence of an animal does not diminish the value of animals. It simply acknowledges that not every system requires the same inputs. As this exploration approaches resolution, it becomes clear that compatibility is not about fulfilling an expectation. It is about honoring alignment. For now, it is enough to release the idea that something must be added. Sometimes, the most supportive environment is already complete. Space remains open, energy remains unclaimed, and well-being continues quietly, as it is. By this point, one thing becomes clear. Compatibility is not about preference, identity, or correctness. It is about rhythm, about how different systems settle into ease when they meet what supports them naturally. People often describe themselves as cat people or dog people, yet these labels tend to simplify something more subtle. Beneath them are patterns of regulation, ways the nervous system organizes attention, energy, and rest. Animals do not create these patterns, they interact with them. Dogs often align with nervous systems that regulate through external structure. These systems settle when the day has shape, when cues arrive from outside the body, when routine guides movement and attention. For these individuals, consistency feels calming rather than restrictive. Shared activity supports balance. Repeated rhythms reduce decision-making. The environment feels responsive and engaged. For these systems, a companion who participates actively in daily rhythm can feel supportive. The presence of movement, interaction, and predictable routine helps energy distribute evenly across the day. Cats often align with nervous systems that regulate internally. These systems settle through autonomy, through quiet continuity, through environments that allow attention to turn inward without interruption. Stillness restores rather than isolates. For these individuals, minimal demand supports balance. Presence without expectation allows energy to recover. The environment feels stable without requiring response. For these systems, a companion who exists alongside rather than within routine can feel supportive. The presence of calm, predictable proximity reinforces regulation. Neither pattern is superior. They reflect different ways of maintaining equilibrium. Importantly, these tendencies are not exclusive. Many people experience both forms of regulation depending on context. Some days call for structure, others for autonomy. Some phases of life invite engagement. Others invite stillness. Compatibility lives in how often these rhythms align. This is why individual variation matters. A highly active cat may align more closely with an externally oriented system. A calm, low-demand dog may align more closely with an internally regulated one. Temperament shapes interaction as much as species. This is also why some people feel most balanced without an animal at all. Their regulation remains stable without added variables. Their environment already provides what the nervous system needs. Space, routine, and connection exist in other forms. All of these outcomes reflect alignment. What matters is not which companion is chosen, but whether the relationship supports rest rather than requiring adjustment. Compatibility does not announce itself loudly. It feels like ease. Days unfold without resistance. Nights arrive without vigilance. Energy circulates without effort. When alignment is present, there is little to evaluate. When alignment shifts, awareness increases gently, inviting reflection rather than judgment. This understanding removes pressure. There is no ideal companion, no optimal choice, no hierarchy of fulfillment. There is only fit, temporary, evolving, and responsive to change. As this exploration comes to rest, it becomes clear that the question was never which pet is better. The quieter question was always about rhythm, how the body settles, how the day moves, how rest arrives. And when those elements align, companionship, of any form or none at all, supports sleep, simply by allowing the nervous system to be itself. Different people rest in different ways. Different companions support different rhythms. And ease comes from honoring that quiet truth. Before preferences form, before choices are named, the nervous system is already regulating. Regulation is the quiet process through which the body maintains balance. It determines how energy is restored, how attention settles, and how easily the body moves between activity and rest. Humans regulate in different ways, not because of personality categories or learned identities, but because nervous systems vary in how they return to equilibrium. Some systems regulate most easily through external cues. Structure, rhythm, and repetition provide clarity. When the environment offers signals, time, movement, shared activity, the body follows. Attention organizes itself around what is happening outside. For these systems, routine reduces effort. The body does not need to decide when to move or rest. It responds to the environment as it unfolds. Other systems regulate most easily through internal cues. Stillness, autonomy, and minimal interruption allow awareness to settle inward. The body listens to subtle signals of fatigue or readiness. Regulation emerges without external prompting. For these systems, quiet preserves energy. Attention stabilizes when demands remain low and predictable. Neither pathway is learned incorrectly. Both are biologically valid. Most people move between these modes depending on context. After long periods of cognitive demand, external structure may feel supportive. After extended social engagement, internal quiet may feel necessary. Regulation adapts continuously. Animals interact with these regulation styles naturally. Dogs often amplify external regulation. Their presence introduces cues. Movement occurs at visible intervals. Attention shifts outward. The environment participates actively in the day. For externally regulated systems, this feels stabilizing. The body synchronizes easily. Energy distributes smoothly. For internally regulated systems, the same cues may feel unnecessary or noticeable. Awareness remains outward longer than desired. Cats often amplify internal regulation. Their presence remains consistent without demanding response. Stillness becomes available. Attention settles inward. For internally regulated systems, this feels restorative. The body recovers without interruption. For externally regulated systems, the lack of cues may feel diffuse. Without structure, attention wanders. Importantly, animals do not determine regulation style. They reveal it. A person who feels restored by structure will notice how engagement supports balance. A person who feels restored by stillness will notice how quiet preserves energy. Neither response requires correction. Research in nervous system regulation suggests that well-being increases when environments match regulatory preference. Mismatch does not cause harm. It simply requires adaptation. Over time, people often shape their environments unconsciously. They choose routines. They select spaces. They gravitate toward rhythms that support balance. Animals become part of this shaping process. A dog may reinforce a rhythm already present. A cat may support one that was already needed. Some people discover their regulatory preference through companionship. Others discover it through absence. Both pathways are informative. Importantly, regulation styles are not fixed. They shift with life stage, health, workload, and emotional demand. A person who once relied on external structure may later require internal quiet. A person who once preferred stillness may later seek engagement. Compatibility changes accordingly. Animals remain consistent in their rhythms. Humans adjust. Understanding regulation reframes the entire conversation. The question is no longer which companion is better. It becomes which environment allows the nervous system to settle most easily right now. As this exploration moves toward its close, regulation becomes the quiet thread connecting every section. Rhythm, capacity, space, energy, all converge here. Different bodies settle in different ways. And when the environment reflects that truth, rest arrives without effort. The nervous system does not need explanation. It recognizes alignment immediately. As this exploration comes to rest, nothing needs to be decided. There is no conclusion to reach, no answer to apply, no preference to defend or explain. What has unfolded here was never about choosing correctly. It was about noticing how different rhythms exist, how energy moves, how some systems settle through movement, while others settle through stillness, how companionship can support balance in different ways, or how balance can exist fully on its own. Cats and dogs were simply mirrors in this conversation. They reflected different ways of living alongside another presence, different ways attention can soften, different ways days can take shape. And for some, the absence of an animal reflected something just as complete. Throughout all of this, one quiet truth remained consistent. The nervous system knows when it is supported. It knows when the environment feels gentle, when energy does not need to be guarded, when rest can arrive without monitoring. That recognition does not require justification. It arrives as ease. Some people rest best with movement nearby. Some rest best with quiet presence. Some rest best with open space. None of these ways are better. They are simply different expressions of the same need, to feel settled enough to let go. If nothing else remains from this time together, it can be this. Compatibility is not something to chase. It is something to notice. And when the environment aligns even briefly, the body responds without effort. For now, there is nothing more to hold. The day can soften, the body can settle, and sleep can arrive in its own time. Good night.